Hello there, and welcome back. And hopefully, this is the very last episode where I talk to the camera about what I might do. And I will actually get to the process of actually doing it. And this is going to act as a correction to some of the things I said in my very last video. I don't think what I said I believe was true at the time. Now I think there's a little bit more nuance to it, and it's also simplified. So one of the things I've been talking about for 9-10 years now is that there is this idea that there are 4 different outcomes any troubled relationship can have. The first one being that there is some form of sort of relationship renaissance where things get better, everyone gets on well, and the relationship flourishes. And that's, of course, the one everybody wants. The second one being there's just some form of continued toleration with whatever the big problem is. The third one being there's divorce, the relationship splits up because whatever the problems are just too big to handle, or one person is just done. And the fourth one being some form of open marriage or cheating or whatever it is. And I think those are, and the way I've been thinking about it is that each of those represent 4 really distinct problems. The first one being some form of basic attraction or comfort building relationship skills, whatever it is. That's the one where you have the relationship renaissance, and you can learn the skills, make it better. The second one being that there's some form of emotional blockage or pain from the past, medical problem, whatever it is, that basically acts as a logistical problem to actually enjoying the relationship. One person would love to enjoy the relationship, but they have terrible anxiety and pain from the past that leaches into the present. So that's the painful past sort of problem. The third one being is that there's some sort of other real reason that the relationship exists. It may be some completely secondary reason that they got into the relationship other than they wanted to be in a relationship with this specific person. Or on the flip side, the real reason is they're completely done with this person. They don't want to be in this relationship anymore. They did love them at one point, and now they just can't stand them, and they are just completely checked out. But they can't leave yet. They can't leave for whatever the logistical reasons are. Or they don't want to split up the family and affect the children. But that's still a secondary reason other than I want to be with this person. And the fourth one, of course, being some form of cheating, other person being far more important than their partner. So there's 4 very different problems. There is the life gets in the way of the spark, there is the painful past, there is the real reason, and then there's the other person. And each of those specific problems has a backstory to it, that where it's sort of created from. It has problems in the present, and it all tends to sort of end in, there's a sort of a scripted end to it in a way. So rather than thinking of them as 4 completely separate outcomes, I'm starting to think of them as 4 really different stories. Now here's the twist that I hadn't realized on a conscious level. I certainly thought about it unconsciously, but the twist on a conscious level that I haven't thought of before. Each of those 4 different stories, that the spark is starting to fade, there's this painful past issue, there's a real reason someone's in the relationship, or there's another person involved. Each of those 4 different stories can be happening independently at the same time. There could be just one of them, there could be 2 of them in play, there could be 3 of them in play, there could be all 4 of them in play, which is why you get that situation where someone is endlessly looking for a solution to one of the stories. Like, how do I fix the attraction issue? How do I make them, desire me again? And one of the other stories is in play. They could feel attracted, except the painful past is just overwhelming the present. And it doesn't matter what they do to attract them, the painful past is the issue. Or The other person is just completely done with them and they're only in the relationship for logistical reasons. So it doesn't matter how attractive they get, they're never going to get the traction with their partner that they're looking for. It's why some people, they read a book or two, they put things into practice, and then their whole situation is magically fixed because they only had one of the stories in play. And someone else can come in, have that story in play, bust their butt to fix it, actually fix it, but have no positive results because one or more of the other stories are also in play. So going forward, this is what I'm going to base everything I do on. These 4 really different stories that have core different problems, have a different story arc, a different solution, but it's that understanding that you might have more than one of them in play. So as we go through the rest of the week, I will talk about each one of these 4 stories in a little more detail. So that is it for now. Like, share, subscribe, ask questions, comments, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you soon.